How you doing?
Yeah, good.
You found anything yet?
Still looking. Doesn't help that my phone's been cut off.
Look, would you like to come in for a chat?
Sure. Things were pretty full on at home. I'd had enough of all the fights, so I walked out. Just threw my stuff into a bag, didn't think much more than that. So yeah, I've been staying with mates, but need to find somewhere else.
Well, that's all right. Look, we can see what we can find. I can make a few calls. Just something short term. Have you got enough cash to get by?
Yeah, enough. But I think the phone company's cut me off. They're saying I owe heaps of money.
Ooh, that is a lot. Look, I think you'd best see a lawyer about this.
Seriously?
Seriously.
You really think I need a lawyer?
Yeah, I do. Just to see what your options are. Especially when they start talking about legal action. You can see a free lawyer at the community centre. I can set up an appointment for you, if you like.
Yeah, sure.
Great.
There are different kinds of laws. Most people know about criminal law. That's if you get in trouble with the police. But there's also civil law for day-to-day stuff. Things like problems with Centrelink, dealing with debts, fines, problems at work, or discrimination.
Yeah, I'm not sure you can help, but Ian thought it was a good idea. He told me to show you these letters from the phone company. That last one says something about taking me to court, and that's the last one they sent. Like, I can't even phone them because my phone's been cut off. I guess because I haven't paid the bill.
That will happen.
But I really need the phone for work. I've got a new job working in a restaurant. I've got to call them Monday.
Okay, let's have a look at this bill from the phone company. I can see it's a lot of money they reckon you owe. It looks like you're going over your data allowance, and that's where the extra charges are coming from.
I don't understand how, because I thought I was on a $40 cap. Now after just 6 months, I have this ridiculous bill. I'm supposed to have unlimited data.
I'll have a look at the contract you signed up for. It sounds like the phone company might have misled you about thinking that your bill wouldn't go over $40 a month and that you had unlimited data. If you're under the age of 18, the law says that you'll only be responsible for the contract you signed if you were old enough to understand what it meant for you. The law also says that the contract has to benefit you. That means that if it made things difficult for you, was unfair or unreasonable, then make sure you see a lawyer, as the contract may not be valid. That means that if you couldn't afford your mobile phone contract and didn't understand it at the time, or weren't explained the details of your phone plan, you could write to the phone company and ask to get out of your contract. I can help you do this and negotiate with them. But if that doesn't work, then we can see if we can get some of the debt reduced based on your circumstances. It's really important that you do something about it, because if the debt remains unpaid, they can take you to court about it, and then even start taking money out of any wages you might start earning. It could also go onto your credit file, which could make it hard for you to get a loan or another phone contract out in the future.
What about this one? It's from Centrelink, but I don't really understand it.
I can see that Centrelink say you owe them money because you stopped going to school. Is that right?
I didn't realise I had to tell Centrelink when I stopped going to school. I thought I could just tell them when I started my new job. I don't even want Centrelink anymore, but I can't afford to pay them back now.
I understand. Centrelink rules can be really tricky. What we can do is we can get a copy of your Centrelink files. Then we can do a review of the debt with Centrelink to check whether Centrelink have come up with the right amount, or even if you do owe any money.
So what if I still owe them money?
Well, then we can write to Centrelink to point out all the special circumstances about what was happening in your life. Like when things were bad at home and you stopped going to school, and that you didn't know that you had to tell Centrelink that you stopped going. If that works, then Centrelink will cancel the debt.
Okay.
But if not, then we can talk about what else we can do. There are a few options. But it's important that you deal with these things because, like the phone debt, you can end up in court. And in some cases with Centrelink debt, you can even get a criminal charge.
Oh, great.
Centrelink have really strict rules. It's easy to get cut off from your youth allowance payments or find out that you owe money if you don't keep your appointments with Centrelink or let them know when your circumstances have changed. So it's really important that you see a lawyer if you have any problems with your Centrelink payments. So, about this job on Monday. Sounds good.
Yeah, I reckon. Just food preparation to start with, just in the kitchen. I won't be getting paid for the first 2 weeks while I'm on trial. Then they reckon I'll be on about $260 a week if I get the job.
I'm glad you told me that because it's actually illegal for your boss to have you work an unpaid trial. It's always good to sign a contract before you start so you know what your rights are. But if you don't get around to doing that, then you should make sure you know what you're getting paid and what you're entitled to. For example, there are laws that say that you must be paid at least a minimum amount and how long you can take breaks for and things like overtime. Sometimes bosses try and pay people less, especially if you're young. But come back and see me if you have any issues.
Yeah, okay.
A lawyer can help sort out employment issues too. Sometimes we find problems with young people's pay, for example, being underpaid or not being paid penalty rates. Bullying or harassment in the workplace is another issue that often affects young people. This can include where you've been threatened, teased, or yelled at by your boss or workmates. Bullying behaviour is against the law, and bosses have a legal duty to stop it. Is there anything else you're worried about?
Well, I suppose just these. I'm not sure how I'm going to pay them or what I should pay off first.
I think it might be a good idea for you to see a financial counsellor. They can help you sort through your money issues and help you to manage and budget your money. It won't cost you a thing, and you can usually get an appointment here at the centre.
Yeah, okay.